Hello everybody, Illidaris is here with some more Final Fantasy XIV. Well, it's time to do the Summoner quest line. I have already done the level 60 quest. I did not know I would be streaming this, but heck, I'm having fun doing it. Even though I do it vocally. That I have to do a lot of reading. I'm not good at oral reading. But I'm trying to get better at it. So this is helping me strengthen my oral reading skills. But anyways, let's get on with the Summoner quest line. Yamitra, I'm going to say that's her name. And I have to see Principia. Greetings, Jarek. 'Twould seem that Prin would speak with us about the second challenge. Alright. A book with teeth. Congratulations, Master. You are sufficiently prepared to undertake the next test. Excuse me, Prin, but how can you tell? By analyzing the patterns of Master's ethereal emanations. I told you I suck at this. I can gauge the strength and precision of his recently cast incantations. Of course, Master must attempt the challenge itself before I can provide an evaluation to the proper degree of accuracy. This will be a test of skill. To administer this trial under the prescribed conditions, however, I must request the assistance of several more summoners to play the role of antagonist. Several more summoners in this day and age? That will be no easy feat to arrange. Come now, Mitra. I cannot say her name. It's hard. She's the sister of Yustola. Little backstory of her. The solution is right under your nose. Jarek, your deeds have caught the attention of the higher echelons of the Flames. After learning what you're capable of, we've begun an initiative to take our very own summoners into battle against primals. A number of soldiers under my command have already begun in intensive training. I handpicked veteran survivors of our expedition against Ifrit, and they've been issued with soul crystals we claimed from the Asians. I and Captain Wolf has been howling in my ear for days, begging to enlist your aid as some kind of drill instructor for ethereally gifted. But now you're in need of summoners for this trial of yours. Yes, I'm prepared to offer my regiment full cooperation. All I ask in return is a few morsels of advice for the Alkalites. Seems to me a fair trade. And my enchantments do not restrict me from instructing neophyte summoners in the fundamentals of the art. Very well. I suppose such an arrangement could provide convenient for us all. Could prove convenient for us all. Blech. I knew you'd come around. Meet me at Camp Bullfrog and I'll assemble the troop for inspection. Camp Bullfrog. Oh, as you can see, I don't have an Ifrit Idgy. I have Ruby Carbuncle. I love him. Okay, time to go to camp. Let's see if that appears. Okay, it does work. Summoners. Looks like we're all here. Let's get on with the briefing, shall we? As your command, this second challenge will evaluate your elegance of your techniques as opposed to the magnitude of your miasma. First, I shall infuse your edge of your opponents with secondary enchantments, and then you are to engage in the entities in combat. Prin explained to me that the enchantments store the aether expended during the battle, and allow for an in-depth analysis of your flare for death flares, as it were. In any case, I expect you to pass with flying colors. Or you'll pass with flying colors. Right, I suppose you should know who you're up against. Designation and rank. Summoner Casperin, Private First Class. We're grateful for aught you can teach us, sir. Summoner Denise, Sergeant. I'm new to spellcasting, but I've seen my share of combat, sir. Caspin and I are to fight you as a pair. Summoner Jajasaman, or Jajasaman. I cannot say your name. You've more and a few admirers in the barracks, Jarek, sir. But that don't mean we'll go easy on ye. Enough chatter. Quick march to the training grounds. Give the word to Casper and Denise when you're ready to battle their edgy, Jarek. After that, you'll be facing off against the lieutenant's beast. You won't be attacking my troops directly, so give it all you got. This is Northern Vandaland. Yeah. Oh, here they are. Marron Glace. Prepare yourself, sir. Denise and I will summon our servants to battle. I pair Ifrit energies for you. You finished warming up on the embers, and cause even together, me mates and you don't hold a candle to the inferno I can summon. Right, let's bring the flames. Wow, you can bring a pretty big one. Bad. Not bad at all. Ah, I had hopes for that one, but you snuffed him out right quick. Not much of a trial, eh? Well then, you're lucky I fought another primal during me time with the company of heroes. Aye, you're not the only summoner who can command more than one ethereal beastie. Say hello to your final opponent, Titan. Ooh. Now. I hope my summoners put enough of a fight for you. Anyways, shall we hear what the book has to say? I have ruminated upon the swirls and the echoes of your battle, and the picture is clear. Your technique is, without a doubt, a thing of exquisite beauty. Consider the second challenge conquered. Well, that's good news, if hardly surprising. After all, you did sweep through those edges like a storm through a field of dandelions. Methinks you've opened me eyes. I see I've work to do before I've truly mastered this discipline. I'm glad to know we've been of service. Now, we really must be returning to Gridania. Thank you, sir. This was truly an enriching experience. Aye, pray train us again in the future. Back to Gridania. This is my home. It's raining at Gridania yet again. What was that? Moxie Hikikomori? Congratulations, Jarek. With your impressive demonstrations of power and skill, you've already conquered 2 of Prin's tree challenges. 3. Blech. We come to the final trial, however. Prin would further our education on Allegian summon. First, I would ask what you know of the rise and fall of summoning in the Allegian Empire. I was made to cover, rather, a lot of history, you understand. From our research, we have learned that summoners were initially lauded as heroes for their success against the primals. When certain of these mages began to abuse the art's power for personal gain, however, the adoration of the populace shifted towards an oppressive hatred. Correct. We speak now of the latter half of the third astral era. My creator, Master Sari, was one of those who expended his energies on the destruction of primals, even as he fled from relentless persecution. Alongside his discipline, he triumphed over Belus and many other lesser entities. Belus. That was the name of the elder primal from whom Tristan once drew power. Master Sari must have been mighty indeed to defeat such a foe. I felt that was stupid. Yet he still knew fear. The thought that the grand discipline of summoning would fade into oblivion was more than Master Sari could bear, and he sought to preserve its legacy and provide for its successors. My creator was well versed in ethereal chemistry and held a particular interest in the technology of information. Broadly speaking, he's researched methods for producing arcane geometries without grimoires, and experimented with machine-enhanced edgy. Oh dear. He eventually abandoned both of those technologies, deeming them unsuitable for the instruction of future generations. Hoping to provide guidance to those summoners yet unborn, he instead began writing and educating a work that would survive down the ages. He made me. Such an accomplished personage. Why then have I seen but scant mention of his name in Allegan histories? As you have said yourself, it was the age when the ordination of summoners experienced an extreme reversal. It is likely that Master Suri's achievements were struck from the records, even as his loyal pupils were struck down in the streets. I was shut in a storeroom, abandoned to slumber like a common treatise on trade agreements in the southern provinces, and thus I can tell you naught of what befell my creator in his later years. Excuse me. I expected a dry recantal on the history of summoning, but you shared with us your personal narrative. 'Tis clear you hold a great deal of respect for Master Sari. I'm familiar. I simply relay information as I was expelled. This lecture is now over. As you wish, Prin. Well, Jarek, 'twould seem class is dismissed for the moment. I suggest you recuperate for this day's trial, and look toward preparing yourself for the final challenge. Oh, looks like we're going to go against him again. This is 5. Time has come, Jarek. Prin is ready to administer the final trial. Yes, your third challenge is at hand, Master. I shall be glad to at last share the wisdom that has long lain dormant within my pages. Thus far, we've had evaluations of raw power and refinement of skill. What then? Will this third challenge seek to test? That I cannot tell you. Cannot or will not. I do not keep this detail from you for the sake of my own amusement. It must be secret. Were you aware of your test purpose, such knowledge would unfairly affect its outcome. What I will tell you, however, is that this trial requires conditions that are akin to an actual battlefield. As such, I must ask you to call upon your fellow summoners to your side and arrange a location where you might join hands against a more realistic primal threat. Uh-oh. No, this ought to be welcome news, Captain Wolf. I shall see if his oculates are available. Greetings. This is Ymitra. Ymitra, of the Sons of Saint Coinage. I have a favor to ask. Did I say coinage? Well, Captain Wolf was more than eager to accept her request. He even offered to arrange exclusive use of the sector of Seal Rock. It seems there will be an airship waiting in Ul'dah to fly us to the island. Shall we rendezvous at the landing once you've prepared then? You bet. This will be the final and most grueling challenge. Pray ready yourself, Master, that you are not reduced to so much gruel. Well, this is only the level 65, so it can't be the final trial. Go to Ul'dah. No, here you are. I don't know about you, Jarek, but my nerves are beginning to get the best of me. Captain Wolf and the others have already landed on Seal Rock, so let us not delay the challenge any further. Who could that be? Oh, Summoner Jaja. How might I? Pardon? By whom? We? Lieutenant, can you hear me? Oh, great. Blast. The call was cut off, Jarek. Our immortal colleagues are under attack. The situation sounded dire indeed. All the summoners are crippled by injuries, and the Captain Wolf alone fights to keep the foe at bay. Our planned battle has become rather more real than we anticipated. We'd best explain matters to the pilot and arrange a rescue party. Ambushed, you say? Understood. I'll put in call for reinforcement, but my ship is ready to depart now if you are. Shall we go on ahead? You better believe it. Am I going to have to jump out of the airship and save the day? Okay. Nope. Ymitra the Learned. We became separate. Yeah, come on. Uh-oh. Looks like they're are these edgy? I've never seen their like. Sephiroth. You didn't kill my ruby carbuncle, did you? Okay. What's Sephiroth doing here? These edgy speak. Thank you. I'm glad she's a conjurer. What is this? Oh, great. Okay, they're staying behind. Check bio. My shadow flare will slow you down. So familiar with Bahamut's power, are you? You must have another taste. What? Ow! Off-center summoners, right. By the power of Bahamut. Uh-oh. I don't like this. What? Bread worms. Captain Wolf. Oh shoot. Die already. You're a fantastic specimen. Oh, great. I'm not your pet. Ugh, I'm dying. Beat him. Anomalous potential confirmed. Commencing scan. Latin ethereal capacity immeasurable. Standard parameters exceeded. Reinitializing system. What? What, he wants to go another round? Master, sorry? How have you come to be here? Master, you surely you do not mean that sorry. Ah, Principia, they have awoken you. This should suffice. What did you do to Prin? The construct is unharmed. I simply added another layer of security. Do not disappoint me, Summoner. I will be waiting. How odd. The way he vanished was almost as if... Almost as if what? Those teeth! What was all that about? Bah, we will discuss this back in Ul'dah after we've seen to the wounded. You arrived in the nick of time, Jarek. Thanks to you, my soldiers survived that ambush, and they'll be fit for duty again after a bit of rest. Aye, you have our gratitude. If you hadn't plunged into the fray like that, we almost certainly would have perished. You say that bastard was Master Sari, didn't ye? A summoner of ancient Alg? Did them mages have some way to come back to life? Alright, Lieutenant. Let's not jump to conclusions. Well, he was wielding summoning magics, unlike aught we've seen before. Maybe Prin has some idea. I'll be sure to ask. Come, Jarek, let us return to Gridania. Let's go to Gridania. That was Prin's master? So we got a white-haired mage. That's not uncommon at all. Maybe he's a ghost? But how could he have the ethereal energy to summon? I don't get it. Let's go ahead and sell that. They're not bad. I hate having to do that. Summoner, you actually have to press the button. There's a summoner, or a scholar. Ah, I thought so. You are a black mage. I don't understand that hat. Alright. Well, what was meant to be Jarek's final trial was certainly testing, to say the least. Tell me, Prin, what makes you sure that was Master Sari? Based upon evidence at hand, there can be no doubt. The vocal and ethereal signatures were identical to those exhibited by my creator. The only aspect that gives me pause is his behavior. Master Sari was never one to offer harm to others with such callous indifference. I would say there is a large inconsistency to consider here, Prin. Your creator supposedly died several thousand years ago. There is one other possibility. The greater minds of Alg unlocked the science known as cloning, by which they could artificially create a replicant of a living being. Cloning, bad idea. A seal rock is, after all, a construct of the Allegan Empire, assuming the individual you battled was indeed a clone of Master Sari, then my senses would recognize no appreciable difference. An exact copy of the original person. It would explain much, but the very thought of this is horrifying. Oh, and did he not tamper with your enchantments? Are you truly unharmed? My facilities are undimmed, but the wisdom I was to impart to Master has now been sealed behind an arcane lock. I can do nothing. Only my Creator holds the key. Then your secrets are lost to us. If only Jarek had been able to attempt that third challenge. Attempt? Master has already passed it. Allow me to explain. The third challenge is to test the summoner's nature. Thus does the trial require a presence of companions and a realistic threat. Master Sari ambush did, of course, bring an unexpected dimension to proceedings. Yet Master leapt to the aid of his fellow summoners without hesitation and braved considerable danger to see if they were safely rescued. Selfless acts that more than qualifies Master as a worthy successor. I had wondered why his power and the skill were not sufficient. Sari wished to see his teaching passed on summoners of noble heart. Correct. He could not countenance the idea that such knowledge might be put to evil ends. Now you understand why his display of violence is so confused me. Aye, and all the more reason to suspect an impostor. But whatever this man's identity may be, we'll track him down and make him remove the seal. Your purpose is too important. And I will assist you in any way I can. Master Sari, that made me, would not stand to see his memory profaned with such wickedness. Well said, Prin. For an enchanted stack of ink and parchment, you have an impressive developed moral compass. I possess neither morals nor a compass. I merely follow my inspelled directions to guide worthy summoners. If I give the impression of such characteristics, then mayhaps I am overstepping my bounds as a familiar? No, you're fine, Prin. Forget I mentioned it. I will see if I can unearth more detailed records of Master Sari. Mayhap the story of his later life will aid us in unraveling this present mystery. Yep. I'm just looking at my book. Okay, that's enough dilly-dallying. I've searched through the usual histories, but found scant mention of Sari. 'Tis as Prin said, records of existence have all but been expunged. Expurged, something like that. And since my own knowledge is limited to the day I was stored away, we must rely on those lost alien records that escaped the purge. My colleague Rambros, I guess, may be able to help us there. Hardly a day goes past when his team does not lift some forgotten treasure from ruins in Mordorna. Shall we pay him a visit? Yep. That's where I thought it was. Mordorna. I can't help but think of Bartello from Final Fantasy X going, Donna, whenever I read this name. I wonder what this purple fog is. Ethereal energy? There goes the keeper of the lake. Oh, him! Okay, I thought it was him. Yamitra has informed me of your search, and I shall be certain to contact you should our discovery include any mention of this. Sorry. There may, however, be a swifter way to acquire the information you seek. I know of a certain merchant who collects undeciphered tombstones with even greater zeal than the sons of Saint Cornich. Ah, you speak of Rowena. Aye. We have formed something of a symbiotic relationship with her consortium. In return for financing our excavations, we provide Rowena with a selection of our finds. I'm sure you would find her amenable to request for assistance. After all, you would merely need to borrow her tombstones for a time, yes? Here, I pinned a letter with my personal reassurance that her stock will be returned none the worse for wear. Thanks, dude. Oh, this place is kind of creepy with the no music. Especially when a giant dead dragon's right there. That's still technically alive. You might not. It might be. Might not be. Hi, what can I do for you? So you the backing of old Rambros, eh? Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to lend you some of my tombstones. In fact, I'll do you one better and let you borrow the transcripts courtesy of the scribes at the ironworks. As books, they're darn sight heavier, but you don't need any fancy machinery when it's all pinned down in ink and parchment. Give me a summary of the contents when you're finished. I'll consider them as payment. Collectors part with more coin if they know what they're getting, and my time's too precious to waste on reading ancient history. Consider it a deal, Rowena, and thank you. Well, Jarek, shall we get to work? Oh, don't tell me I have to do book reading. Fancy that. I barely began skimming the very first volume, and there are already promising passages. Let us wake Prin and share our findings, shall we? Ah, Rambrose, have you come to check on our progress? This charming tome is Principia, a sentient familiar of the ancient alg. Pleasure to meet you, Master Rambrose. Pray call me Prin, if you prefer. Thank you, Prin. And might I say what a privilege it is to meet such a rare and clever construct. Clever. Well, yes, apparently Prin was written that way. In fact, we were just hoping to hear an opinion on a new snippet of information I've uncovered. 'Twas an order listed in record of Imperial military communications, commanding that the fruits of the Master Summoner's research be seized. It appears that the army had more than a passing interest in Sari's experiments. And what exactly was the purpose of this research? Master Sari toiled to wed summoning magics with ethereal chemical technology. For example, he experimented with replacing grimoires with mechanical mediums, and sought to manifest edgy of greater authenticity by utilizing high-speed computations. Simply put, he turned to machines to enhance traditional summoning methods. Is that the gist of it? Correct. But Master Sari was not one to abuse the success of his experiments. No matter how they magnified his power, he would not place his trust in machines. Their inherently complex nature was too prone to error, he said. The date on these communications indicated a time in the latter half of Sari's life. Is it possible something could have occurred between crafting you and the execution of this order that may have greatly altered the summoner's outlook? There was, of course, the violent wave of anti-summoners sentiment that swept through Alg. It claimed the lives of many of Master Sari's disciples. Following their deaths, he began spending much of his time cloistered within his laboratory. Such an incident could certainly be responsible for changing a man. And Principia, you were unaware of subsequent events once you fell into slumber, yes? From what we've learned so far, it's safe to say that the foe we encountered is related to Sari's research in some way. And there are likely more clues buried in these records. I shall speak with Captain Wolf and borrow his sharp minds of his summoner squad. 'Tis a rather intimidating pile to tackle on our own. Well, seeing as you have the transcripts, there's no need to travel far. You are welcome to use my tent and reference materials on Alg found therein. That would be an enormous help, thank you. Let's haul these books to the dig site, shall we? Interesting bow. These Algan records are like to make my skull burst. I bet. Our summoner colleagues arrived with swiftness after I relayed to them our request. 'Tis well to see them recovered from their injuries. With everyone pitching in, we stand a good chance of finding something useful. Ah, here's the bugger I was looking for. This is a record of when the military finally caught up with Sari. Says here the summoner was found dead, killed by someone else, it seems. Then we have proof of the original Sari's demise in the Third Astral Era. Now there remains the question of who or what attacked us in this age. My coin is on one of these clone creations. Is there aught more to the story, Lieutenant? Aye. It goes on to describe how the Imperial Army took over Sari's research, lauding his experiments as exceptionally dangerous but ripe with potential applications. They shifted operations to an artificial island soon after and began practical testing. One cataclysmic accident later, and that was the end of that. This artificial island must be referenced to Seal Rock, the very site of our encounter with the present-day Sari. During the battle, my creators, Simulacern, exhibited the ability to summon multiple Edgy simultaneously, as well as manifest highly authentic facsimils of flesh and blood entities. The basis for each and every one of these unorthodox techniques can be traced back to Master Sari's research into machine-enhanced summoning. I say we have enough evidence to support a working theory, then. Namely that the Algan military was using a clone of the deceased Sari to perform hazardous experiments, explore the feasibility of ethereal chemically bolstered summoning magic. And here we landed on Seal Rock. We must have somehow awoke the remnants of those experiments. Mayhap we have solved the mystery of who the attacker was, but now I would know the place to where he fled. What refuge exists for such a being. From what I gather, the results of Osari's work were bundled off to some secret laboratory called the Ethereochemical Research Facility. You know this place, sir? Is it far? Azizla. If that's where they're keeping Sari's research, then it's possible the clone may have be headed there. Our squad will fly back to Seal Rock and make further investigations. The relics of the past may hold some hint we haven't yet considered. An excellent idea, thank you. We shall return to Gridania for the time being. Oh great, going to Azizla. Come on. You can load Gridania. Ugh, I'm just dreading going to Azizla. I don't like that zone. Interesting. Well, you got the hairdo for a samurai, dude. But the look, not so much. You're still there? I received an update from Captain Wolf regarding their investigations on Seal Rock. It would seem that certain of the Alamegan relics have shown signals of recent activation. Their mechanisms were too heavily damaged to offer more than the way of being useful information. However, I fear we must brave this Azizla facility and search for Sari ourselves. Is that what he was hoping for when he said, "I will be waiting"? It is possible. I did not think the detailed information important at that time. But the lock and engaged by Master Sari Simulacrum was not the strictest here. Rather, the seal is one which fades upon the sealer's demise. Ooh, not good. Then he was goading us into fighting or defeating him. Another challenge, or is it simply a trap? I'm not fond of rushing into the unknown. Gird yourself for the worst, Jarek, and I will learn the present circumstances for the research facility. Of the research facility. Okay, we're going to Azizla. I've learned all there is to be learned about the research facility. The time has come to make our move. From what my sister and her colleagues had told me, the laboratories are housed in an extremely dangerous quadrant of Alice's Law. Will not want to wander around inviting trouble, but rather pilot or plot the swiftest and safest route to our destination. There should be a terminal somewhere that would allow us to pinpoint the section of where Sari's research is being stored. Once we arrive on Alice's Law, finding such a terminal will be our highest priority. I've informed Captain Wolf of our forthcoming expedition. He insisted that he and his summoner squad provide us with support. Let us make ready and meet them at Helix. Okay. We are, as a slaw. I don't like this place. Oh. They're all here? This law is more fantastical than I imagined. But we mustn't let ourselves be distracted by the scenery. We should fan out and search for a control panel of some description. We can use that to plan the simplest route to our objective, yes? Aye, then we plunge ahead, swift and sure, and bring an end to this bastard clone. That is my intention. 'Tis important to note, however, that we have yet to determine if our enemy is truly a clone or not. Even an artificial copy would appear as living, breathing being. The man you fought on Seal Rock seemed almost otherworldly. I'm inclined to agree with you, Ymitra, but no matter what he is, we need to slay him to live friend Seal. The job remains the same. True enough. Then we shall first focus on finding that terminal. Jarek, if you would, pray search around the base of warring triad statues. Keep the guard up. If Sari knows we're coming, he may have prepared a welcome. Oh. How is this thing still flying? Huh. It's like we're fighting General Grievous from Star Wars. I predicted you would be the first to find me. A lesser summoner would have been slain. Jerk. Sorry's clone. It's here. Clone. Ah, you seek to explain my existence. An understandable theory, but I am far more than one of those clumsy creations. You had been best abandon that flawed perception, lest it lead you down the path of failure. I shall await you inside, potential. You may pass my test, your true final challenge, or you will die never knowing what I truly am. Bring it, punk. Those teeth, he's gone again. Did you see that, Jared? The way he vanished? 'Tis akin to the dismissal of a summoning entity. So you're saying he is some sort of edgy? One, what's wearing Sorry's face? But how can he look so solid and alive alive? With the aid of oh gosh, another hard word. With the aid of a computational machine, it would be theoretically possible to reconstruct Aether into a near-perfect replica of Sorry's corporeal form. He was summoned using a machine? Correct. Master Sorry's research developed mechanical substitutions for grimoires. In fact, the lieutenant is standing right in front of one. This thing, eh? It looked a bit like them tome lids on Steel Reich, only they was much bigger. Gods, can the bugger pop up anywhere that there's one of these devices? I think we can now safely assume that this Sorry is a product of the enhanced summoning magic. But our answer leaves us with yet another question. If Sorry isn't edgy, then who is the summoner? Even if the grimoire is replaced by the machine, there still must exist the one that commands it. Who commands it? We've got to find the master then. If we don't squash the summoner, the bastard will just bring the Sorry edgy back again and again and again. Whoever the bastard may be, he or she must be concealed somewhere nearby. An entity will always be summoned within a certain distance of the summoner. Even machine-enhanced techniques cannot circumvent this basic principle. That our antagonist chose not to make an appearance on Seal Rock suggests a reluctance to expose oneself to direct harm. In this location, however, with so many computational devices near at hand, I expect the foe's art will be significantly bolstered. So the edgy will be even stronger than last time. All the more reason to take down the summoner quickly before we're swamped by ethereal horrors. Well, I brought a little device that should help. An ethereal meter I borrowed from my sister, Stola. If I can detect the right currents, it should lead us straight to our hidden enemy. Excellent, Ymitra. This will make all the difference, right? Let us be about this then. Summoner Squad, Take the van and clear the way forward. We've been waiting for the chance to prove ourselves. You just focus on finding the summoner. We'll sweep aside the dregs. Okay, be right back. 1 second. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Ready for round 2, Jarek? The terminal has provided us with a direct route to the research storage chamber. We're going to rip through this facility to take Sari's clone apart. It is an ethereal entity, Captain Wolf, not a clone. And I must point out that your true objective is a summoner rather than a servant. Right, I knew that. As we planned then, Summoner Squad, front and center. Carve Jarek a path through. Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. They're like... Yamitra, you're in charge of finding whoever's pulling the imposter's sorry strings. Let's go. Wonderful. You've done well to make it this far. The summoner has to be around here somewhere. Yumitra, use your gadget. I'll buy you some time. We came here to resolve the seal you put on Principa. Do as we ask, and this can all end peacefully. I'm sorry, Captain. I'm afraid I cannot do that. To do so would run contrary to the purpose of which I was created. Surely by now you have come to realize my true nature. You're an edgy in the form of my creator, an existence made possible through a fusion of summoning magic and ethereal chemical technology. But while Master Sari was the last of the great summoners of Ao, you are not more than an elaborate imitation, and you are no match for the summoner who now stands before you. Very good, but your conjecture has missed the mark. What I am is a defense mechanism that is capable of self-enhancement in order to combat ever greater threats. Shall I phrase this in simple terms? In the event that I encountered a presence with greater potential than Sari, I am compelled to harness that potential through main force and compose its ether in a new guardian entity. Someone opened my door. Shall I phrase this in simple terms? In the event that I encounter a presence with greater potential than Sari, I'm compelled to harness that potential through main force. Oh, okay. You mean to kill Jarek and make an edgy out of the warrior of light? Have we reached an understanding? A peaceful conclusion to this encounter was never forthcoming. His reasoning has broken down. Your deeds have saved countless lives and will continue to do so. How can one justify killing you, Master, when you embody the very principles for which summoning magic was invented? Yumitra, any luck finding that summoner? I'm just finishing tracing threads. The camouflage is impressive, but I am still shocked that we missed something of that size. Our true enemy is up there. What is it? How observant of you. You have uncovered a Master Summoner Sari's greatest masterpiece. An artificially sentient evocation matrix. There's two. The complexity of my design simply cannot be compared to the primitive principles used in Principia's construction. A third. Your defeat is inevitable. Tough talk for an aging machine whose logic channels have obviously rusted with disuse. Master, might you and your companions compose of this unsightly, unseemly alchemy of refuge? Yeah, we'll dispose of them. Interesting music. Okay, you can load my battle in. Yeah, it means to overwhelm me, but I'm not doing it. Have at you. Powerful, I'll give it that. Whoa, you summoned a Minotaur. Ow. You'll pay for that. Yeah, I'm almost done, Jane. Wish me luck. I gotta fight Clownz. I feel like I'm in Star Wars. Fighting the clones. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot! Thanks, Jane. I appreciate it. Oh. Oh, dear. Ow. He electrocuted me. We won. Booyah. Yeah, we did it. A stunning victory, Jarek. We've won the day, but Captain Wolf wishes to stay behind and conduct a thorough search. I told him it was still too dangerous to wander around alone, but the captain is a stubborn man. Not to worry, though. If aught should happen, we will soon charge off to the fight at his side. Captain Wolf will call us if he needs us. Aye, we should be celebrating here. Does this not mean Prince Seal is now broken? Master success is indeed something to be celebrated. I was not crafted to experience emotion, but I do feel a certain rustle of satisfaction in my pages. Once you've mastered them high and mighty techniques, you'll be stronger than ever. Well, I think I'd rather learn by your example anyways, instead of, from musty old scrolls written by some long-dead Alagoon summoner. It is the hopes of achieving just such an outcome that I awoke from my slumber. The art of summoning is for the living, as my creator once was fond of declaring. Jarek, Prin, let us say our farewells for the moment. Thank you for your aid, everyone. We could not have done this without you. Thanks, guys. Got some weird outfits. Let us go back to Gridania. I did it. I'll be able to summon Bahamut. Come on, you can load. Thank you. Welcome back, Jarek. You were only meant to face 3 challenges, and we ended up chasing your prize into the heavens themselves. An unexpected development which you handled with exceptional grace, Master. And now at long last I can finally bequeath to you the highest secrets of summoning. Pray step forward. What a momentous occasion. The wisdom of the last Alg Master Summoner is yours. Ere you depart to explore your newfound powers, however, Captain Wolf has a report for us. It should explain much of what occurred at Oz's Law. Well, I wanted to be sure that machine was truly undone, and after poking around inside it, I discovered a number of soul crystals. According to Principia, they belong to Sari's disciples. The captain also unearthed a tombstone containing undoctored records of the age. or that age. It would seem that following the murder of his students, Sari became increasingly bitter. He began to doubt that the future could be safely entrusted to the capricious whims of mortals. Instead, he explored other methods by which new generations might be safeguarded from the threat of primals, and committed himself to ethereal chemical research. As you may have surmised, the evocation matrix was the end result of Master Sari's toil. Drawing on its embedded soul crystals and unrivaled computational power, this terrible invention was capable of manifesting a veritable host of ethereal avatars. Once he was satisfied with his work, Sari commanded the machine to act as civilization's mightiest guardian, and then he killed himself. His ethereal essence was absorbed, and a formidable edgy was added to his invention's arsenal. So now you know the truth of it. What a price to pay to ensure that the art of summoning survived unto the morrow. After failing to protect his disciples, I wonder if he meant to preserve their soul crystals in their stead. Even if that were his intention, he chose the wrong way to achieve it. Yeah, I would agree so. Prin here is the embodiment of the hopeful ideals of Sari's younger self. That murderous machine of his latter years is the product of frustration and anger and grief. But what shall we do with the crystals? We cannot risk them falling into the hands of another villain like Tristan. If you wish, I could swallow the crystals and hold them safe until another era has need of them. My enchantments will ensure that they pass only on to the hands of the worthy. Swallow? You mean to eat them? Fear not, Captain. I have no digestive tract to which to speak. And now that I have instructed Master of the Wisdom of Aug, this task shall be the last I perform ere I return to slumber. Wait, so this is farewell? Correct. Or mayhap, more appropriately, good night. As a familiar, I am not inspelled to experience loneliness. I was, however, written with the knowledge that it's best not to draw out a parting of ways with needless sentimentality. Now choose for you then, Apron. Summoning magic was created to combat the threat of the primals. The ideal world is one in which I would never need awaken again. I need never awaken again. Wield the art well, Master. Aww. You don't know if you'd be creeped out by the talking book? Or fascinated? Yeah. Off to dreamland, just like that. I suppose Prin's purpose is served, and that's the same as happiness to a familiarness. Speaking of servants one purpose, I think it's time I took my leave. Aye, the task of the morrow beckons to us all. Let us do what we may, so that Prin might rest peacefully for many years to come. Soul Summoner. Okay. Okay, folks, I'm done with the summoner quest. I can finally summon Bahamut. I'm so happy. Ooh, I can't wait to do it. I'll have to see that in some time. But I want to thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. I might do the Scholar quest line soon here. The 60 through 70. See what happens there. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you. Where's Wave? Next time. Bye-bye.